Well, great morning, everyone. Oh, my goodness. Well, the dog killer has been reduced to a different position, and incoming is the Cherokee wrestler. I guess he's one of those cage fighters or something like that. He's taking her place, so we'll have to see what's happening. Trump behind the scenes is now singing the blues about the Iran war that he's in. But of course, it's not a war. Like Vietnam, Vietnam was not a war, so they're doing the Vietnam thing. It's not a war. Vietnam was a war. Okay? But no, it was a conflict. It wasn't a war. And same thing. The government got us into Vietnam because they lied about a ship being fired on that was not fired on. Okay? So they absolutely lied to the public and got us in that war. And how many people died in Vietnam? And we lost. Okay? That's it. So anyway, she's been demoted. New guy coming in. The war with Iran. And doesn't have enough ongoing bombs and missiles, etc. Now, if they ever did bomb over here, I'd probably be gone in the first day because right across the hill is a missile base. So they'd be wanting to hit that probably the first thing. So, yeah. I live right across the hill from a missile base. Anyway. Go grab the cards and we'll just see what they have to say this morning. Give these a ruffle shuffle. I think I will use the Gypsy Oracle cards today and my Lenormand and the playing cards. And we'll just see what they're going to tell us this morning. If they have anything to say. And I think I will pick one, doing this different today. One tarot above and what's crossing it that gives us the kind of background for the whole thing. We'll see what it says. What is it going to tell us? Okay, so the overview is it's about resurrection. Okay. And many tongues, 7 of winds. What's crossing it is many tongues, the 7 of winds. So what they're trying to get away with, and judgment of what they're trying to get away with. The zenith, they're at the high point of drama. Okay. Judgment. Many tongues, what's being spoken about it. All these snakes are all just wound up together in that. So we have, misfortune. House on fire. House is on fire. when it comes to what's under the surface. And yeah, what they're offering up. Okay. So they're going to lie about what's there, of course, but it's not going well. House on fire, what's under the surface from what they're offering up. Judgment is coming, okay? So the energy coming into it is the merchant, always what they're trying to sell. That's key. And what they're trying to build. Okay. So we're looking at what's coming in, what they're trying to sell, the latest BS drama, key, what's under the surface, and what's being offered up. What's going on today? Despair. Okay. Despair, so not going well. Although, you know, in front of it, he's saying, everything's fabulous, never been better. The light is coming. And the choices made in life. Okay, so all of his choices now are coming back to haunt him. He doesn't want to listen to anybody. He just does whatever he's going to do, and now the consequences are coming back in his face. Such as Iran. Oh, it's only going to be a day, they're going to capitulate. Nah, that's not happening. So now, you know, what he's trying to sell is not working. The challenge is the thoughts. Okay? Thoughts of this delusional. The thoughts are about Epstein stuff. Okay? It's not caring concern for all of the schoolgirls that he killed over there. Concrete message. Doesn't want it to come out. He's still, the major concern is about Epstein. Stuff still to be released. Because you're going to find out, you know, when they're talking about eating jerky, they're eating young children. Okay? Sacrificing, killing young kids. And one of the ones from Iran yesterday were saying, yeah, they hit the school kids, killed all those girls as a sacrifice to the devil. Oh, mercy. So anyway, yeah, he's deep in thought about Epstein stuff, concrete things yet to come out, concrete messages. In despair, the Iran thing is not going well. Not only did it not create a big enough diversion from Epstein, now he's in this war and not going to have enough ammunition to keep going forever. Potential outcome. Okay, the cheering. The cheering, he and Nietzsche Nahu, a dark truth coming out, knowledge coming out that's seen in the dark, through the dark, about their, okay, about their mindset, okay? About their mindset. So one person is happy, Nietzsche Nahu, that he pulled him in. Also, I'm feeling with that, of course, Putin dark side. But somebody, outside influence, the Lovers, the Future, and what's rapidly coming. He's on his own. Things are being shared. When it comes to judgment, things are trying to get away with. The widower, people are leaving him and turning their back. Okay, turning their back. So let's see what else we have underneath here. The White House, Trump, the old woman. There's only an old woman. There's not an old man in this deck. So the older person trying to, slow walk things, keep the Epstein stuff from fully coming out and looking for cover, a shell. Okay. We have the White House, his mental retreat, and the community. So we're watching him in his mental decline. Reunion, trying to hold on to what's going forward. Okay, reunion. Now, I'm wondering if this is trying to draw in the Magatonians, or also it could be this is sometimes my card for investigations, FBI, CIA stuff and things, withholding stuff. The sweethearts, documents, when it comes to the truth. So the truth of the Epstein files that's still yet to be released. New information, the constant things is not going away. The now women that were the young girls are not stopping. They're continuing to push for this to come out. The servants, he's trying to control the power of that, but it's the crushing wheel, okay? So there were some people working at the ranch that have been speaking out, okay? And, he keeps trying to lean on them to do his bidding, but the crushing wheel is still in motion. The young women are standing guard, and they're not going away. The clock is ticking. Okay, they feel battle weary, but they are continuing to stand. About pushed to the edge. The room is empty when it comes to protection. So he's losing his people to gather around to continue to insulate him. That is going away. I need to put on my glasses because close up. Size, yeah. What's being worked on when it comes to the sacrificing of children. Okay, so what's being worked on? The sigh, this just is, it's taking forever. The melancholy when it comes to any kind of new information and conversations coming out. Conversations about the wealthy and their involvement being cut. a messenger when it comes to the Epstein files and the White House. Okay? Messenger is bringing more information. The nightmare of the falseness and trying to sweep it under the carpet. Okay? The lies, the things going on. Him thinking he's above it all, the Lord attitude, wealthy attitude, emotionally distancing from it is at the heart of it. He has no sympathy, no empathy for anything he's done. Okay? He thinks he's above it all. Okay? They're dispensable. They have no wealth, no power, these young kids that he abused, that he raped, that they killed. They have no value in society. So the harvest, but there are those faithful to the Epstein files, okay? They don't like the harvest of those that have been faithful in this abuse network, okay? It's not just Trump. It's the Rothschilds, it's the wealthy families, it's the movers and the shakers that are in the dark. Pedophilia, Satanistic practices of sacrificing. Mentally, though, he is occluded when it comes to this journey and what's being eaten away. His mind is being eaten away. He's locked in this. The dementia is getting worse. The ongoing strife, the coming together about a message, okay? They continue to fight for it to come out. The new cup of the wife, the deaths, okay? Now, Melania is in there as well. And the wife, I think this is, again, just the marriage of that, all of those involved in this cup of abominations when it comes to the deaths. Okay? The enemy of compassion is this craftiness. In other words, the dark arts, the satanic dark arts that they've been engaged in. This lack of compassion, the enemy. Pedophilia is the enemy of compassion, the enemy of just taking away the innocence. What's being juggled is the gift, what's been given, what they've had on their table, and now the cross to bear. Something concrete when it comes to the sorrow and continuing to look for help. Okay? The abuse of power. The priest in this is the dark arts of control, power. Okay? This is not, this is the fake. The abuse, the turning religion on its ear, the abuse of that. The Antichrist. This waiting because of the heartbreak and the pain and the divergent path. Trying to get away with the deaths. Trump. So there is more involved in this. Ever more dark stuff. The endings. The Seven of Swords. The takeaway. of the deaths and Trump and these narcissists all involved in it. Okay? Concrete evidence. Again, letter, concrete things. There is a doorway. It's there. Evidence in hand is there. Where it's going for, the wedding, the marriages, okay, overseas. We see some things coming in now, like Mountbatten and other ones losing their positions. One woman that I guess was going to be queen is this, after this involvement, that's not going to happen. So the consequences of those involved in this, it's starting overseas, an agreement about the malady. These women are saying about this illness of these people. They are sick. Out in the cold when it comes to the service that's being struggled with. Okay? Still wanting this evidence to come out. What's up in the air is there by the foes in the government. So this is pointing directly at Bondi, the foe, the government foe that's keeping it up in the air, keeping it from being seen. What's being handed out is a surprise when it comes to the lifetime efforts of these people. What's being pondered is the frivolity and the obstructions of these ones. There is an action coming when it comes to the doctors, when it comes to healing in the path forward. Okay? So something will be coming eventually. A victory when it comes to love and the promises. Okay? So some hope coming out eventually. The desire, the prison is exploding. Okay? So there are those that want to see these ones put in prison. Absolutely, and this is growing evermore. The choice is made by the soldiers for a short-term success. So those that continue to cover up have had short-term success when they're blocking Epstein files from flowering. Okay? Short-term success. So eventually it's going to come out. So it's all about the money they're getting paid, control, money, deception. Now, Bondi is also in the files. So the emotional theft, the fly in the ointment, a new action when it comes to the fortune and the storylines. Facing a loss when it comes to friends and the health of any of this. When it comes out, there's going to be a lot of loss. Choices made, the haughtiness, the egotistical, those of high finance and business. Okay? The narcissists. Figuring out the next move, the consolation when it comes to this dark mindset. Wanting to get to a better place, studying this, and wanting to walk away. Okay? We know those want to get away without any consequences. We have hope, though, when it comes to the information and the law. The pleasure seekers, the wealthy, for them this is all about monetary stuff and abundance. And then driving all of it underneath of it all, let's see what we have. It's about the direction, what's being anchored in, about the toxicity, the friends, things done by the dark of night, the darker information, messages, awareness, the history, a hard-won lesson that we're waking up to, and this is in motion. So it says, it's revealing the dark things that have been here for years and years and years. Those of wealth and power have decided to follow what? In the Bible it talks about Satan, bow down, and all you see I will give to you if you just bow down to me. Okay? Satan promises for things of the world. You can have all these things of the world if you just bow down to ego. Okay? So all of this is still coming out. We're going through a revolution. A lot of change is coming, but it's like anything. First, the dark mud gets stirred, and then you flush it away. But you can't flush it until it's been stirred up and you can see it, and then make that change. And it's up to us to make the change and change the direction and bring consequences to those that have been involved in these sacrifices, these tortures that have happened to these young innocents and continue to take place. So on that note, I'll leave that here, and we'll see you online.